A decent start it was for the Flying Eagles at the Under-20 World Cup as they rallied from a goal down to win against Dominican Republic. Up next is an all-important fixture against Italy, which could make or break their campaign in Argentina. In this video, we preview the game for you. My name is Ayomide Sotubo, and this is the Nutmeg on Guardian TV. Let's kick things off in this episode talking about Italy, our next opponent in the Under-20 World Cup. They've got 8 appearances in this tournament on the whole, and the first was in 1977. Their best finish was a 3rd place in 2017. We play them, of course, on Wednesday by 7 p.m. Both sides entering into that game need all 3 points to qualify into the round of 16. And the Flying Eagles cannot afford to lose. They will have to play Brazil for 3 points if they do. And that'll be interesting if Brazil defeat Dominican Republic in their second group game, which would mean that the Flying Eagles and Brazil are tied on 3 points. They would want to prevent that kind of scenario. A win against Italy does that pretty much. And also, a draw would mean for Italy and Nigeria that they will still need a win or at least a draw in their final game of the group, whether that be against the Dominican Republic for Italy or Brazil for Nigeria. And interestingly, I think this game on Wednesday, that is Italy coming up against Nigeria, is the biggest of the group and is going to determine a lot. Of course, anybody picking up a win in that game pretty much seals who qualifies into the round of 16 from that game. And now let's move straight to the ladies' side of things. The Falconets trashed the Niger Republic 7-0 in the Waffle B Under-20 tournament. And one name did stand out. It was Esther Ajakai. I don't know if you remember, but then she was one of the stars that emerged for the Falconets last year in the Under-20 Women's World Cup. And in that tournament, she got 1 goal. That was against Germany. And she got an assist against Chile. This time around, she's got 3. That's a hat-trick against the Niger Republic. And the lady, of course, looks like she has a bright future ahead of her. Nigeria will play Togo on Wednesday. And that's in their second group game of the Waffle B Under-20 tournament. And then Burkina Faso in the final game of the group on Sunday. And now let's move to the European side of things. It is Vinicius making the rounds. He's in the headlines, not for the best of things, for the ugliest of things, I reckon. Got a red card, but then was also subject to racist chants. And I think that is the right time for Vinicius Jr. to consider a move away from Real Madrid, especially considering he is not being appreciated by fans in Spain. This is about the 3rd time or even the 4th this season that he's been subject to racist abuse. And of course, he's won everything in Real Madrid. You could argue the La Liga, the Copa del Rey, the Super Cup, and even the Champions League. What more could he win in Los Blancos colors? It might just be the right time for Vinicius Jr. to move to a country, a league where he's appreciated, where his skills and dexterities are praised instead of, his color and his ethnicity, his tribe, or where he's come from being the subject of discussion and even of abuse. So perhaps it might be the right time for Vinicius Jr. to move. And also in England, Manchester City deserved champions of the Premier League. Champion stuff they've proven. At some point, Arsenal was leading this title race by 11 points with a game in hand, but Manchester City, led by Pep Guardiola, have somehow clawed themselves back. Not just clawed themselves back, they've also now won, and it's deserving. I mean, that's 5 Premier League titles in 7 years. And Pep Guardiola owns this league. Pep Guardiola proving also that he's not a checkbook manager, as many do say that he is. But, you have the squad, you spend so much money. You look around and other teams spend money too. But, hey, Pep Guardiola is at the heart of everything going good. There's still a treble up for grabs after winning 3 consecutive Premier League titles. They could still win a treble. Real Madrid, they dispatched Real Madrid already in the semi-final, and then they face Inter in the final of the Champions League. There's a final in the FA Cup against their neighbors. They call them their noisy neighbors. That's Manchester United, and it could go either way. But then there's a chance for a treble, and then perhaps we could herald Pep Guardiola. Many already are heralding him as the greatest, one of the greatest in the world. I do not think he's the greatest, but I think that he is deserving of praises, deserving of kudos. and of course is at the heart of everything going well for Manchester City. And now let's still stay in England and give you a preview of the game between Manchester United and Chelsea. Big game for Manchester United. They need just 1 point out of their last 2 home games in this season to secure a place in next season's Champions League. And they are in the last 5 games between both sides at Old Trafford, they played 3 draws, and Manchester United have won twice. And also, they played 6 games since they last conceded at home, talking about Manchester United, and they only concede 0.5 goals per home game. Decent numbers for Manchester United, and it's looking good for them, especially considering their dominant home display all season. Also, Chelsea's underwhelming performances and results from the start of the season even till now. And I give Manchester United full support to win this game. I think they stroll into this one, at least get a draw and secure Champions League. It's that easy. I don't think Chelsea would pose that much of a challenge, especially considering they'll want to put behind the pressure of qualifying for Champions League before the clash against Fulham, a final day, last match of the season kind of pressure before they focus on the FA Cup final against Manchester City June 3rd. And of course, they want to nick this victory. Very important game. Eric Ten Hag has already said it's a final, and we look forward to it. And that is how we wrap things up in this episode of the Nutmeg. You can join the community by hitting the subscribe button. You can also let us know your thoughts about all we've discussed in this episode of the Nutmeg. Esther Ajakaye making the headlines. How bright do you think our future is? The Flying Eagles have a big game against Italy on Wednesday. What are your predictions for the game? What are your predictions for Manchester City versus Manchester United versus Chelsea? A big game for Manchester United to secure a place in the Champions League. Also, Man City are in imperial form. 5 Premier League titles in 7. What are your thoughts? Let us know. Let us also know what you think about Pep Guardiola. Is he the greatest of all time? And that is how we indeed bring all things to a close. Also, you can get our latest videos on this channel when you turn on the notification bells. My name is Ayomide Sotubo. Thank you for watching. This is still the Nutmeg on Guardian TV.